Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak on Tuesday unveiled economic reforms that he said would make Malaysia a developed nation by 2020, but provided few clues as to how the country would get there. Najib pledged to work to develop and implement economic reforms needed for the country to grow further. He said the new economic model will see more divestments of government holdings in listed companies, and the government is still in consultation on the reform of its subsidy policy. Najib, who is also Finance Minister, said the NEM would make Malaysia more competitive regionally and globally, with benefits accruing to all Malaysians. Per capita income will be increased to $15,000 by the end of the decade from the current $7,000.
But this is about far more than the economic goals of our nation. This is about the life chances open to future generations. This is about raising the size of low-income families to help them out of poverty. This is about the very fabric of our society, where we each have opportunities and responsibilities. It's about placing Malaysia at the forefront of a high-income economy so that we can stand shoulder to shoulder with other fully developed nations.
The announcement on the new economic model, NEM, was made during the Invest Malaysia 2010 conference held in Kuala Lumpur. Under the NEM, the government will no longer tolerate practices that support the behaviors of rent-seeking and patronage, which have long tarnished the aims of the new economic policy. Thus, the government has taken several steps in ensuring that the aim of the NEM can be accomplished. Among them, the Malaysian Industrial Development Authority, MIDA, will be corporatized and renamed as Malaysian Investment Development Authority to make it more effective as an investment promotion agency. The Employees Provident Fund, EPF, will be allowed to invest more in overseas assets. Apart from that, the government and EPF will form a joint venture to promote the development of 3,000 acres of land in Sungai Buloh into a new hub for the Klang Valley. And Petronas has identified two sizable subsidiaries with good track record to be listed this year on Bursa Malaysia, a move that will reduce government's presence in business and enhance private sector's role. The new economic model, NEM, announced by the Prime Minister, will not only benefit one race. It is holistic in nature, and its execution will include the contribution of the people towards the country's development and to share in the country's wealth. International Research and Strategic Institute General Director Datuk Dr. Mahani Zainal Abidin said the methods introduced by NEM is different compared to the new economic policy, which was introduced 40 years ago. However, it has the same aim, which is to restructure Malaysia's economic condition, and was well received by many.
Going forward, I believe that the objective of the NEP is still relevant. The target is now, I think we have to look at in a different light, because the target is, as mentioned by the Prime Minister, is not focused on one item, equity. There are other measurements of wealth.
The approach is a balanced one, so that while we drive for high income, at the same time we must ensure that we're sustainable ecologically as well as inclusive socially, so that we will take care of the disadvantaged groups in order to make sure that they are also competitive.
I think that's actually a very, very balanced approach. I must say it is bold. I think we'll hear more details tomorrow when Tan Sri Amir Sham, the chairman of NEC, provides further explanation. But from our perspective, we look at this very, very positively.
The model will ensure that every community in Malaysia will not be left out in terms of gaining from the benefits that's to be derived from the model. But more importantly, I think PM would certainly like to see that Malaysians of all walks of life, and regardless of from which community they come from, there are talents to be harnessed, talents to be tapped.